What is up everyone, it is me DevilNeverCry, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at the 6th episode of the Devil May Cry show, The First Circle. As always, if you enjoy these videos, do be sure to leave a like and subscribe, as there's more on the way. With all that said and done, let's finally dive in. Based on the runtime, this one's going to be a bit of a shorter episode. Interesting opening that they've gone for here though. This looks nothing like the previous openings. Very much looks like a sort of like a storybook or a picture book made for children. But I think this one's supposed to go more into the backstory of our characters. Starting with Lady, it looks like. We finally get to see what kind of meth Arkham was cooking up. Interesting shading there for the hair, that was cool. And we can see why he was obsessed with power, right? Considering he wanted to protect his family, but just went about it the wrong way. I'm glad we finally get some sort of rendition of Mary's backstory as well. Everyone knows the fable of Sparda and what happened to Dante, but considering Mary's such an important character, we didn't really get to see much. Why did he manage to get a devil's hand? Curious. Or a demon's hand? Ghost by Gunship. Interesting song choice. Is this supposed to be the same city? Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. Oh, right, the book. Who is this, though? Do we think this is Dante? Maybe it's Virgil? Do we think he's been, like, taken to an orphanage somewhere? Oh. Not the infested chopper. Dark hair, of course. So, and it stands out. Which is interesting. Oof. It's a pretty miserable upbringing here. Pretty much failed as his job as a caretaker. Kids being abused, clearly. It's a key. Incredibly convenient, whatever this thing is. I pulled it into the demon world. Oh no. It absolutely is not a place to go down the rabbit hole, but considering what's happening at home, it's not surprising that an escape is being looked for. Gonna step away. Who is this character though? Wow. Interesting change of art style. Was not expecting that completely. That's cool. Yeah. Not somewhere you want to be at all. Is he going to be able to keep hold of his book? Just about made it. Lucky escape. Toxic air. Do we think he's going to be able to find his way back? Oh, somebody saved him. Super curious as to who this character is. Do we think he's just like a random human who just like stumbles upon Makai? Do we think this is a human who sympathizes with their plight? Maybe he's like an entirely like series original character and he turns out to be the White Rabbit. And maybe this is the reason why he's fighting so hard to open up that portal into the human world to try and, what's the word I'm looking for? To try and stop the oppression of demons, basically. Just some food for thought. And this is her and her friend. Interesting distinction between the two childhoods. I'm just trying to figure out what kind of parallels they're trying to strike here. But this literally is like as much of the demon world as we've seen. What was that glowing object that he found? Dude, did he really find like Virgil's amulet? Oh, the light-hearted music trails off. What's gonna happen now? Oh, is that like the Demon King's throne? Curious to see who it is. Should still be Mundus, right? Technically, or maybe it's not. Not quite sure. Might be somebody entirely different in this continuity. We've got some of those pyrobats. Uh-oh. Looks like things are starting to get real now. Wow, and this is where Afterlife plays. Good decision to have it play here. Is this when she finally finds out what's been going on? Yo, Arkham's fully just lost it. Do you think he's gonna inject? Yeah. Do you think he's done something to the mother too? Wow. God. You wonder why she hates demons. It tore her family apart from the inside. So that's a pretty messed up depiction of what's happened. Wow. Do you think she blames herself for having maybe taken out her father? Crazy. Pretty intense. But like based on what we've just seen, and I'm assuming they're going to show us now like the family house, yeah, burning to cinders. You know, maybe the White Rabbit isn't Arkham, as people have theorized. I'm still curious as to who this character is. And if they're going to go into any of that. Is he going to burn the book along with him? Yeah. Demon Hunters Club. So much for that. And then we transition into, yeah, more modern day. Oh, damn. And that's her in her DMC5 outfit, which is cool. And the glasses too. And here he is slaving away at making a device that can create a portal. I wonder what opened up that initial tear. There's so many theories you can come up with based on like stuff from the game, but I wonder if they'll go into it in the show. Do we know if this is going to take people back? Or where it leads to? Okay, back to the human world. Are they all going to follow? Right. I don't think this is going to end well though. It looks like based off of this, like that was the first time the White Rabbit took people out, or demons out of the demon world. But it looks like he might have continued doing it. Yeah. What the hell is that? And then we have Darkcom. Do we think maybe the reason the White Rabbit's got such a grudge against Darkcom is because he busts up one of their excursions into the human world? Oh, because they find the hideout, yeah, as he's trying to rescue people. There's only a handful of them in here though. Yeah, too late. Seems a bit overkill for like just 3 demons. Ouch. Talk about visceral. Do the demons on the other side have any idea as to what's happening? No, they don't. Basically just being led straight into a slaughter. Which is crazy. Oof. Not really much of a choice though, is there? Yeah, too late. Have Darkcom stuck around though? Yeah, they have. She recognizes that he's a human.
Why do you look human? Safety? You're smuggling demons into our realm. Our only safety is their species extinction.
Damn.
You don't understand. If you'll put the guns down, I can explain.
Yeah, that backfired. And obviously they're not going to start aiming at the big dude. They're just going to start taking everyone down. Seems like a huge oversight. Oof. Yeah.
Evacuate!
Evacuate? Yeah, don't deal with the main threat. Oh, okay. I guess that version of dealing with the main threat is just blowing it up into smithereens. Of course he goes and swallows the whole belt full of explosives. Ouch. And I'm assuming that's why the White Rabbit looks like he does. It's honestly no surprise that he has such a grudge. I wonder why he was experimenting on things though. It doesn't make sense. Right, okay. Maybe he wasn't as benevolent as I thought he was. Jeez. He didn't seem heartbroken about it at all. He seemed to relish in it. How? You're gonna sew it onto your own head? That's crazy. No idea what that thing in his chest is either.
We all go down the rabbit hole together.
No, I do not want to go down any rabbit hole with you, pal. So that was episode 6, The First Circle. Very different in its structure compared to the rest of the episodes in the show. The switch in the art style, the minimalism when it comes to speech. But I think it was great in how they managed to portray the premise of the White Rabbit, alongside giving us some much needed backstory on Mary Ann Arkham, or Lady, and particularly why she hates demons so much, and just overall what happened with her family, which I think is cool. As I think I've mentioned before in some of the other episodes, that's like the first time we've had a proper portrayal of Lady's past, beyond things just being explained, alluded to, or hinted at. And the White Rabbit bucked the trend entirely, where everyone seemed to think that it would follow sort of the path of the manga, where the implication of the White Rabbit is that it's Arkham, or at least one of his versions, similar to Jester. But it looks like we've got a series exclusive. I can see exactly why he'd be going after Darkcom, but why he's done a bit of an about turn and started experimenting on the so-called demons he's meant to be helping, I'm curious to see. And of the entirety of the episode so far, I think this is the first one where we don't have our protagonist Dante feature whatsoever. And despite that, I think particularly thanks to the shorter runtime, I don't think the episode suffered at all. Definitely an interesting trip down the rabbit hole. But those are my thoughts, and that's going to do it for this video. Let me know your thoughts on the backstory and this episode in general down in the comments below. I'm curious to see what people didn't like and what people liked. If you enjoyed the video, as always, do be sure to leave a like and subscribe, as there's going to be more on the way. And with all that said and done, it has been me, DevilNeverCry. I want to thank all of you for watching, and as always, I'll see you all next video.